It's that time of year again. Time to look forward to another season of WMPL football here in Victoria. Now, while we will get to the round one fixtures, we also had a fourth round Nike FC Cup clash this last weekend. Now, while overall it's fair to say it wasn't an exactly competitive matchup, given the divisional gap between ourselves and our opponents in Glen Waverley, we do have a few things to talk about from that game from a more grand scheme in the long run. Those being, primarily, our structural integrity. While scoreline, which we will get to, isn't something I think we should be focusing on too much, our structure, our style of play was highly apparent. And given the number of substitutions and how little a substitution really made an impact in terms of just shaking up the play a little, and just that continued flow from start to finish certainly showed strength and integrity of our squad, as well as the very basic but exciting style of football. Build from the back, get it up the front, be it from the wings through the middle, whatever, get it up front and just have a shot. And that style of fast attacking football where we are very much controlling the build-up of play is something that's going to be very, very exciting to watch, but also given the level of talent we've got presently, as well as once our A-League players come into the fold, there's going to be so much more to look forward to. And it's definitely set to be a very strong, very competitive 2022 season. Perhaps we might just walk away with some silverware, as we should have done if not for a few pesky lockdowns last year. So, of course, getting to the elephant in the room from last weekend, we have the scoreline. Now, while there wasn't much of note given the size of the scoreline and divisional gap, a couple of things we will like to point out is, of course, on the scorers, but do single out, first of all, Yana Lawson for her minute goal. Not very often you get to see a goal within the first minute. Roughly, we'll say about 30 seconds in to the game. And just certainly set the tone for how we want to play football for this season, as well as that fixture. Fast, attacking, controlling, and without remorse. Otherwise, we'll 12 up at half time, 20 by full time. I'm sure you already heard big 2-0 or 2-0 scoreline. Otherwise, come the end of it, Lawson go on to score another 6 goals. So, 2 hat-tricks worth. Does that mean you get to take 2 balls? Don't know what happened to the balls in the end. All we know is no one seemed to be walking away with anyone. So perhaps we're being a bit kind there. Perhaps they were our own balls. So, a bit self-defeating. Regardless. There was a couple of hat-tricks otherwise. Hat-trick for Pickett, a hat-trick for Jessica Young on her competitive debut for South Melbourne. Well done, Jessica. Otherwise, Georgia Candalis would come off the bench to score twice. Perhaps should have been missing a hat-trick herself there. Otherwise, we had a number of players who had just singular goals. Nothing wrong with that. Nice to see the ball getting spread around the side. And if you're looking towards our structure a little bit, basically where our players will line up, it certainly shows the focus upon which side of the ground where we're having the best luck. And while we're certainly looking good from both sides, there was certainly an less than even distribution when it came to goals. Otherwise, again, another scorer on her competitive debut for the club. in Gloria Mitrovic, Sandu, who we all know and love, pop one in, Azed Rodopoulos, Stringfellow, and of course, Cat Goff to round us off to Big 2-0, Big 20. Alright, of course, and as we've already alluded to, a number of our starting 11 were making their senior competitive debuts, those being Jared Farrow in goals, Olivia Bramley, Jessica Young, Claudia Mitrovic, and Holly Murray. Congratulations to all of our competitive debuts for this season. Now, while we're still talking about Nike FC Cup, I'd like to mention our 5th round tie. Now, while the exact nature of the tie has yet to be confirmed, as it is still early days given the gap, the fixture will be in more or less a month from the last weekend, with the 24th of April the rough determining date. So, give it a month's time, I'm sure we'll be talking about our 5th round tie, which will be against Melbourne Zebras. He's going to be getting there a few times. Just saying. Otherwise, most importantly, we've got our round 1 fixtures. So this Friday night from 7:30, Box Hill United will be hosting Calder United from 7:30 at Wembley. Make sure you keep an ear out for that one. You might notice something a little bit familiar there. Otherwise, on the Saturday, Heidelberg will be hosting Bayside United up at Olympic Village. That will be from 3 p.m. Otherwise, from 4 p.m, we've got a very exciting double header from Lakeside. Lakeside, a bit surprising, but we've got a game at Lakeside. And this will be, of course, our first of a number of double headers throughout the 2022 season, which will be taking on the Bullying Lions in 4. Of course, make sure not to forget that our lads will be playing afterwards, but why do you want to watch them? All about the girls, isn't it? Alright, to round us all up for the first round fixtures on Sunday, FB Emerging will be hosting Alamein up at Knox. This will also be a 3 p.m. kickoff. Now, beyond that, not too much to talk about. We covered the goals, we covered the senior debuts, we've covered our 5th round fixture, and we've covered our round 1 ties. So, all I've to say is, make sure to keep an eye on the socials for any and all confirmations for our A-League returnees, perhaps even through new, fresh faces. Otherwise, until next time, come on, Dallas.